All right, welcome back. And in this video, we are going to continue with our wood wall construction. So now we have our wood plank in place. And what I want to do is I actually want to create a digital asset out of this because I want to copy this 3 times. And I also want to change the parameters, some of the noise parameters, maybe some of the beveling parameters, stuff like that. So as I make each copy, I want to change those parameters. So let's do that. So I'm going to select all of these nodes. Now, keep in mind, we are inside of a geometry node, okay? So I'm not going to create the digital asset at this level because this is more of a utility type of tool, okay? This is just going to create a UV mapped box that we've kind of shaped into a shape of a wood plank, okay? So I'm going to make the digital asset inside. So I'm going to select all the nodes that I want to have in the digital asset, hit Shift-C, and what that'll do is it'll bundle it up into a subnet. And then from there, what we can do is say create digital asset. And what I'm going to do is call this the GT wood plank shape. Cool. And we can take care of the label names. It's not crucial, but it does make it look a little more pro. Okay. And I'm going to save it into my OTLs there. My OTL folder that's located in my documents. Okay, so let's start exposing all the parameters that we want to use. So what I'm going to do is first and foremost get the size, and let's also have control over the divisions. We might want to have control over that resolution. And I'm going to put this into a folder just to keep it nice and organized. So I'll just call this the base params, like so. And we'll copy these, or not copy these guys, we'll just move those guys in there. And then what I want to do is make another folder. So these are all going to be the bevel params. So we'll say bevel params. And I keep doing that. I keep making that uppercase A. Okay. So let's go to our rand bevel node. And what I want to do is drag out that min and max value there. And then in the polybevel itself, we can actually make a float. This will just give us more of like a global control. So we'll say, we'll call this the global offset, because the random min and max values are just the offset from this current global offset. So I'm going to hit apply. And what we can do is we can jump out, right? And we can go and get that global offset, or we can just do it straight up and say ch, put those parentheses in there, and then find the global offset param. So it'll show up in that list there. Cool. We'll hit apply. There we go. And then I want control over the different noises, so let's create a folder for those. So we're going to have the Z noise, and we're going to have the Y noise. Like so. And really, I just want those basic noise parameters. So the height, the element size, and the scale. Okay. And then finally, we will do this as well. So we'll do element or height, element size, and scale. Cool. So we got all those guys hooked up. I'm going to hit accept. And now we have control over all of those guys. So you can see that I need to actually initialize the global offset with a default value. So let's go to the global offset and give the default value something like 0.1 and hit apply and accept. It's probably even a little too much, so let's do something more like 0.009. That was way off. There we go. Okay, so now we have a digital asset that creates this wood plank for us. Okay, and if we hit the tab inside of this, the node view here, and go to digital assets, you can see now we have our GT wood plank shape up here. Well, I'm actually going to move that to a different folder. So to do that, I'm going to go into the type properties window, go to tools, context, and I'm just going to put this into a shape utils folder, because these are just basic shapes right? I don't want to have to go and, create another box and apply all those noises and then do the UVing for it over and over again, since I've already done it. And because we have Houdini, we can do that. So, all right, so now if I hit the tab menu, inside here, I have the shape details. And now I have the wood plank shape right there. So this leads us into actually starting to build the wall. So we're just going to do the very quick copy stamp over here, but it'll get the wood wall started. So I'm going to hit tab and create a new geometry container, because this is just for us to work on the wood plank tool. That's all this guy is doing, so we don't need to see that anymore, but I'm going to leave it in there just in case we need to make changes. And I'm going to call this the wood wall. All right, and inside of here, what I'm going to do is drop in that wood plank shape. So it's going to generate that wood plank shape for me, and I have control over the size and everything here, right? All right, and all the UVs are still being produced for us. Awesome. Okay, so what I want to do now is start creating that wall. So we're just going to do the really quick version here. Well, I mean, we're going to actually use this, but what I want to do is get this guy just set up into a wall shape, and then in the next video we'll do the posts, and then we'll just start to assemble all this stuff together. So I'm dropping down this copy transform node. I'm going to pass that into there, and we're going to do 3 copies. All right, and you'll notice now we want to be able to translate this. So now we can translate each of those copies like so. So now we get so many copies, and you can see that if we have the correct size of that wood plank, well, then we can go and move it. So what we can do is we can use the BB box expression, get the current size of our GT wood plank shape. All right, we'll get the D size Y. Oh, and I actually went and typed that in wrong, so we want the Y size. Y size. There we go. And you can see now, for every copy, we're not manually inputting that number. We're able to change that. So what I can do now is change the Y size, and you can see that our copies update as well. Cool. So now we're really starting to create the shape. And if we wanted to offset these guys, right? We can offset that, and then I can create more copies. So I can do another copy transform, and this will give us that staggered look. So now I'm going to create 2 copies, and basically we want to first view this so we can see it, and basically we want to do something like that. So in order to do that, we need to move basically half the distance of the size of this guy. So we can do the BB box, and we will get it from copy 1. That's where we want to get the information from. And we'll do the DX max times 2, I believe, or 0.5. And that's a little too small there. Or we could always just get this offset value. But you can see the basic concept here is we just want to get, I think it was 1.4. We want to get this guy like so, because then we can just transform this. We're going to get the BB box again from copy 2 and do the DX size times 0.5. And we want to move that in the negative direction, like so. And then we want to do some clips on the X direction, like so. And I wanted just a little bit of this here. I think that'll be right. So I want to move it. And basically I'm creating a tileable mesh. And we'll just flip this one on the other side. And we will just do it manually here for now, just so I can prove the point. Basically we want to end up with something like that. That all comes down to just getting these different values. Right, there we go. So now you can start to see how we can create these staggered shapes, these staggered wood wall type of shapes where you have the different planks. But all I really wanted to do in this first video, that was kind of a tangent there. I just wanted to show that off. All right, so I'm going to get rid of all those guys, and we're just going to keep this straight up and down for now. The last thing I really want to do before I close out this video is just get the wood plank so it's sitting on top. All right, so, or sitting on the grid. So basically I just want to do the BB box, and again we want to get the information from the GT wood plank shape, and we want to do the D_Y min and move it in the negative direction. So that way the wood planks are sitting on the ground. All right, so I'm going to close this video out. We're going to do a lot more with all that, but that's the basic idea. So you can start to see now how we can save ourselves a lot of time by just creating a lot of these base shapes. All the UVs are all done for us. All the noise and stuff like that is done for us. So hopefully that concept came through. Okay, so in the next video we're going to make the posts and start to add a little bit more variety to our wood wall. Thanks so much.